Hello and welcome to another episode of Rob's Ramblings here on the Bucks and Six channel. And today at the Brown Table of Sports Card Collecting, we are honoring the start of the NBA season. You may have noticed that the name of my channel is Bucks and Six, but yet I've never shown any basketball cards on the channel, and that's just simply because basketball cards, while I do collect them, they don't really represent a gigantic portion of my collection. But today, in honor of the start of the NBA season, I'm going to show off what I have. I don't have a whole lot, but I have a feeling it's going to take me a while to get through my stack, just like it usually does, because I tend to ramble, hence the title of the show, Rob's Ramblings. But at any rate, the order in which I'm going to go really is fairly random, but I'm going to start with some vintage basketball cards. I don't really even know how some of these cards came to be in my possession. I think some of them I might have just had from when I was a kid. I didn't collect a ton of basketball cards back in the day. And I think some of them might have been sent to me by Card Wolf. He tends to send care packages sometimes with random cards and accidentally drops some cards into my envelope. But at any rate, we'll get through the stack here and we'll just talk about each one as we go. The first one is a Pistol Pete Maravich, and I think this is 1980. Yeah, no, 1979, I think. 1980 or 1979, I'm not sure which. But one of the few vintage cards I have. It's not in that bad a condition. You can see it's not perfectly centered, but it's decently centered. Nice picture of Pistol Pete there. The next one is Bill Walton from the same set. Again, just a throwback card with the throwback look with the beard. Looks like a lumberjack. Bill Walton, one of the great personalities that the NBA ever had and probably ever will have. The next one is again from the same set, 1979, 1980. This is Dennis Johnson, one of the great Celtics players, and apparently played for the Sonics too. Not a rookie card, but one of his early years. Dennis Johnson. And now another one. This is a Bob Lanier from the same set. Another one. This one is not too bad either. These cards are probably in better shape than I even remembered that they were now that I'm looking at them. They're all coming out of my Top Loader Land collection. Bob Lanier played most of his career with the Pistons, did spend some time with my Bucks, but you can see this is before he played for the Bucks. But there's another Bob Lanier, and I do have another card from that same set. This is Artis Gilmore. This one not quite as centered. It's definitely off-centered, left to right, but otherwise not too bad looking card. Again, it's just great looking these uniforms and the short shorts, and a lot of retro looks there. Artis Gilmore. And I got a couple more from that same set. This next one is Robert Parrish, before his days with the Celtics. Here he is with the Golden State Warriors, going up for a strong layup. This one's in pretty decent shape. It's a little bit diamond cut. You can see that, and it's not quite centered, but again, the rest of the card looks pretty good. I'll make room for Robert Parrish, putting this one up. These are all from my Top Loader Land collection. But I do have my next one is actually from the same set, but it made my One Touch Town, and that's because it is none other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And this card from a distance looks great. I love the color on it. And really left to right, top to bottom, it looks pretty decent. So, I mean, it really looks like a home run of a card. But maybe I can get it close. You can see up here in the corner, there is a crease in that corner. And if it wasn't for that crease, this card would be really sweet. But like I said, from a distance, you don't have the angle of the light. It's a beautiful looking card. I just love that blue background. And Kareem, obviously, one of the guys that we here in Wisconsin had a affinity for, because he started his career with the Bucks, have won a championship here, and then of course went on to win many more over out in Los Angeles. The next card, I know for a fact I got this card from Card Wolf. I think he knew that my handle was Bucks and Six, and so he dropped this one by accident in an envelope that he sent me one time. And this is the guy on this card that kind of drew my attention is the one in the middle, Marcus Johnson. He's one of the all-time great Milwaukee Bucks players. Bob McAdoo, a pretty decent player in his own right also, but Marcus Johnson is one of my favorites. He's made a name for himself now as a longtime TV analyst for the Bucks on the TV side. So Marcus is well beloved here in the state of Wisconsin. So that card fits well into my PC. Thank you, Card Wolf, for sending me that. I doubt you remember that you sent me that, but once upon a time you did. Now we're getting into the rest of these are a little bit more modern as we go through. This next one is a Topps Finest, and it's still got that peel on it. I mentioned that I have some of these cards with the peel that I haven't peeled. And this comes from an era when I was not collecting cards, and I still do not understand why they put a film on top of cards that needed to be peeled. I don't get that. No, I'm not sure I'll ever understand that era of card producing, but I've got a few cards from that era, so that's a nice card. The big dog, Glenn Robinson, he never made it to the finals with the Bucks, but he made it to the conference finals once. The next one, this is another Topps Finest. This is Vin Baker. Really nice shine on this Topps Finest. The finest cards back in the 90s really, really look nice. Vin Baker had a nice career for the Bucks, and now he's on our bench as one of our longtime coaches. He's been through a few head coaches, but he's stayed through the whole time. I believe he's still on the bench as one of our bench coaches. So Vin Baker, I'll make some room here. I'm going to leave Kareem because that card just looks so nice. And you know what? I'm going to do a little color scheme here, and we'll put it on the blue stand. I only have red and blue here. Need to get on my son to make a few more stands for me. But anyways, next card is a Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is a select, and it's got that cracked ice look to it. I know my mom doesn't like me giving her credit for stuff. She kind of said, "Oh, you don't need to say that I bought you this or that." But I do want to give her credit because she did pick this one out, and I think it is beautiful. She did a nice job. One day she just she was flipping through eBay and saw this one and thought it was great, so she clicked it and picked it up. I'm not sure what year this is from. Looks like it's 2020 maybe, but really beautiful card of Giannis. The next one, this is kind of silly, but my wife and I, sometimes we just buy these Metal Universe boxes, and I think this is from the Champions. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I got Mike Breen. Not that I'm a huge fan of Mike Breen, but he was on the mic when the Bucks won their championship a few years back, so kind of have an affinity for him too. So there's a Mike Breen card. The next one is really silly too. This is another one. This is Paul Mokeski. Not too many people outside of Milwaukee probably even remember Paul Mokeski, but this is from 1989, late 80s. It's got to be. Yeah, it looks like 1989 is when this card is from. And Paul Mokeski, just because of kind of the goofy-looking professional athlete that he was with the receding hairline and just the glorious knee brace that's probably bigger than his whole leg. Anyway, Paul McCuskey was a favorite of me and my friends, and so I picked up that card, added it to my small basketball collection. The next couple are really nice, actually. This next one, I think I actually showed on the channel once before. This is a signature series from Prism of a great Milwaukee Bucks player, Terry Cummings. You see, it's autographed. The case I have it in is a little bit scratched, so it's kind of taking away from the beauty of it. But I've got it inside of a plastic sleeve, so I'm going to leave it in there. But you can just see how gorgeous this card is. And again, I want to give credit where it's due. My brother gave this to me one Christmas. Terry Cummings, one of our all-time favorite Buck players from back in the 80s when we were kids. So we'll make room for Terry Cummings. The next one is another one from that same era of the Bucks. This is another autograph. This is Sidney Moncrief. This one is numbered to 99. See if I can get it in the light a little bit better. But Sidney Moncrief, super underrated player for the Bucks. With Bucks never won any championships back in those days, but they were always really good teams. And Terry Cummings and Sidney Moncrief definitely were a huge part of that era of Milwaukee Bucks. This is the back of it. Trying to see what year this is from, in 2018, 2019 Panini National Treasures. So Sidney Moncrief, numbered to 99, number 3 out of 99. The next one, this is a card that I couldn't even tell you what series is from. It's a Leaf card, but the subject matter is Earl Lloyd. And the reason I have this card, like I think I've mentioned on my channel before, my wife and I do like to collect cards of significance. And my wife is a history buff, and she knows quite a bit about this man, because we both work in education, and my wife has had the opportunity to work on several projects from students that do history projects on figures like this. Earl Lloyd, if you don't know, was the man that broke the color barrier in the NBA, and so he's worthy of having research done about him. So my wife, having helped many students with projects about Earl Lloyd, we decided that we needed to add an Earl Lloyd card to my collection. It's not worth a whole lot. There's other Earl Lloyd cards that have a little more value, but I just wanted to add a piece of Earl Lloyd to my collection. All right, the next one. This is one of my favorite basketball players currently playing. Definitely my favorite non-Milwaukee Buck. He was a Buck on the Bucks when for this card, but Jrue Holiday. He was one of the main figures in the team that won the championship for the Bucks a few years back, and so he was definitely a player that I targeted back in those years, and snagged this autograph card of his. It's a mosaic, beautiful card, beautiful autograph. Jrue Holiday, super underrated player. He played for the Celtics for a few years, and now he's moved on. I can't recall what team he's on right now, but I would love to see him come back to Milwaukee someday. One of my favorite players. So, all right, moving on. Now then, the rest of my stack, and I've been talking for almost 15 minutes already, but the rest of my stack is all slabs. They're all from Slab City. I'm going to leave the Kareem just because I love it so much. And the rest of these cards, like I said, are slabs. Some of them are cards that I sent in to get graded, but the vast majority of them are cards that I found at card shows, just flipping through bins of slabs from SGC and from PSA, and just a variety of of oddball graders, but they're just cards that I thought looked great, so I picked them up because they were on the cheap. But the first one here, they're mostly Giannis cards. I'll be honest about that. This is a 2018-19 Panini Cornerstones Giannis Antetokounmpo. I did not send this one in. I bought this one graded as it is as a 9.5. It just got a real beautiful shine to it. If I get it in the light just right, really a beautiful card. Giannis going up for one of his signature dunks. That's the back of it. There's Giannis. The next one is another Giannis. That's going to be a theme throughout these. This is a CGC. And it's from 23-24 Panini Select. It's got that cracked ice look to it. The blue cracked ice is the parallel. Beautiful looking card. Just love the way it shines and shimmers in the light. Let's see if we got room for it there. Next one is another Giannis card. This is a 2016 Panini Prism from Mosaic. Just a beautiful card with love the way the light kind of hits it and rainbows. It's just really a beautiful card. Again, I really can't talk or speak to anything about the NBA card scene. I don't really know anything about basketball cards, to be honest. I just sometimes look for some guys that I like Giannis and Drew, and I pick them up. Don't really know much about that corner of the hobby. I just know that I like the way some of them look. Now, this is another one. I really love this card, just with the way that this card has kind of got that background of the players in the background. You can see them as it hits the light a little bit differently. This is Giannis going up to score against the Celtics. It looks like that. It's a Celtic player. It's from 2018 Panini Certified. Again, don't really know what that means. I don't know much about basketball cards, but do know that I love the look of that card. Set that there. And the next one, I really don't know anything about because I don't know much about the card itself, and I don't know much about the grading company, but this is from some oddball grading company called Arena Club. And the card is numbered 49 out of 99, and it's from Panini Father's Day. Not sure what that really means, but I presume that Panini does special cards for honoring fathers and Father's Day. Apparently that's what this is. So just love the way it looks. I'll clear these off and make room for the next set. I'm just about done here. I appreciate you sticking with me through this long video. I'm already up to 18 minutes. Try to wrap it up here in the next few minutes. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go, it looks like. So this next one is another select card. It's from 2022. It's a Select Numbers Red. Just really a beautiful looking card. It's got his number 34. I guess that's what the numbers is all about. It's showcasing the player's number. But again, I love that color. It's not a match, but I just love that color combo with the red and the Milwaukee Bucks City Connect uniforms in the blue. And I've got 3 more now. The next one is not a Giannis. Surprise, surprise. This is actually a Chris Middleton. And again, this is another player like Drew Holiday along with Giannis. Chris Middleton was one of our big 3 when we won the championship a few years ago, and we had Bucks in 6, winning it in 6 games over the Suns. I didn't have any Chris Middleton in my collection, and when the Bucks won the championship with him, I needed to add a card of his, so I snagged this autograph, and I had sent it in to get graded, and it came back with a 10 for the autograph and a 9.5 for the card. So this was a triumph for me in my grading. I wasn't sure what I was going to get, but it came back with a nice grade. But again, I've said this many times before, I don't really send cards in for the great. I send them in to get slabbed up, and I think that card just looks beautiful in that tuxedo slab. Now, the next one, again, it's not a Giannis. It's just another player that played a prominent role in that championship for us a few years ago. And this one, I was super excited when I sent this in. Didn't know what it was going to get, but it came back graded a 10-10. So I got a 10 on the card and a 10 on the autograph. And I just love this card. Bobby Portis, one of my favorite players. Just super fun guy to watch. If he wasn't on the Bucks, I'd probably hate him. But because he does play for the Bucks, I love him. I love his energy. He just plays with an edge, and that really suits the personality of the city of Milwaukee, and the city of Milwaukee has just embraced him. There is nothing quite like listening to a Milwaukee Bucks crowd going crazy when Bobby Portis gets on a roll. And this card is just so beautiful. I love the way it shines, love the autograph, just love everything about it. Bobby Portis, great Milwaukee Buck. And then my last card here is we're going back to Giannis. And this is a Giannis Antetokounmpo rookie card, I believe. I mean, it's hard to say what's a rookie and what's not a rookie. It's not really recognized as his main rookie, but it is from 2013. It's SP Authentic, and it's my earliest Giannis card. I can say that for sure. And he's Greek. We know that. He's got the Greek flag on it. This is the back. It's from Upper Deck. So, beautiful card. And I'll just set this here. All right. So that's pretty much, that's not every single basketball card that I have in my collection, but it's pretty darn close to all of the ones of any significance at all. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, I don't have a lot of basketball, but I do enjoy collecting and picking up basketball cards here and there. Like I said, I don't know much about it, but it's just a fun corner of my collection to keep an eye on and to help grow every once in a while. So with that, I'll wrap this up. Until next time, enjoy the hobby and stay true to yourself.